Yo, you already know what it is. You're listening to The Urban Product. It's your boy DME.
It's your boy Cozy Rich.
And it's your girl Imani.
And we have a very special guest in the building. Actually, we got a few special guests in the building. Please do us the honor of introducing yourselves, please.
What's up, y'all? If you don't know me, I'm Key. I'm an artist from Boston, upcoming, or you can say I've made my presence a little clear here. But yeah. Thank you for having me, y'all. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, you're going to get to know her. That's all I know.
And who'd you bring with you today?
Today, I have brought my manager, Sadiq. You guys gonna say something, Sadiq? Nah.
Sadiq's nice and chill, you feel me? Big smiles means big money on this side, you feel me? But we out here. How's everybody doing?
I'm feeling good. How are y'all feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm coming off a high. Just was on my trip to North Carolina, so I'm happy for the summer. It was great weather.
I didn't see you post on no socials.
That's how you know she's
I did post today.
That's how you know she's
I posted today. I
know exactly what that means.
Demon time.
You guys are arguing.
Welcome back, though.
Thank you.
Fucking with the hair, too. I see you switch it up.
Blessings.
It was hot out there.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. You know, it's hot outside, so
I'm here.
I gotta seasonal depression's over, so it's a different money now.
I feel that.
I'm excited.
Took a trip and that bitch just went right out the window.
Yes, ma'am.
Heard. Welcome back. Rich, how you doing?
I'm living my best life per usual. You know how I do. I mean, work. I ain't gym today, but other than that, you know, it's podcast day, it's love day, so I can't complain. Let's have a good show and keep the energy moving.
Period. How about you, Dev?
You know me, you feel me? Mr. A, man, I am busy all the time. This is my only day off, and I choose to pod on my day off for y'all.
That's
you feel
what we
me?
like to hear.
I'm here for y'all. You feel me? I got the testing lab tomorrow. Feeling pretty good right now. Great weather. Feels good to be in just a tee. Hated wearing my jacket everywhere that I went. It feels good to be in just a tee. And now we are here. You feel me? Season 7, episode 166. We out here, you feel me? So Key, Sadiq, thank you for pulling up. We appreciate y'all being here. I do want to go, right into things. Just want to give our audience just a nice introduction for you since it's your first time here, you feel me? Right. So, let's just get the basics out of the way before we get into the juicy stuff. So I wanna know about you. Tell me where you're from, background, family. Give me the whole rundown.
Okay, so I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Where in particular, though?
Specifically from Dorchester. That's where I was raised. A majority of my life, my home life was definitely a lot. So I did a lot of moving, but definitely foundation in Boston, Roxbury, Dorchester, all that good stuff. I'm 21 years old. I'll be 22 this May, and I just dropped my first project last July. So it's been a interesting journey. Let's say the most since then.
So
first, go ahead, Rich.
Yeah. So before that project, what was you doing musically in the city?
Before that project, I really wasn't doing anything in the city. I was a full-time student and working. I had went to Northeastern for my first year of college. I was in a program called Foundation Year. Basically, that program is for students who left out of high school and they had good credentials over the board but may have had a low GPA. So it was basically a foundation for you to, get that up, and then you transfer, or if you wanted to stay at Northeastern, you could. And then after that, I transferred to RCC, and I was working full-time and being a student full-time, and then the pandemic hit. And it was very hard for me to do school virtually. I'm a hands-on learner, and in person, it just is more tangible to me, I guess. So I found myself in just a rut, in a dark space. So I've always been an artist. I was a dancer in high school. Like I said, I was on step. I was always into drawing and all that good stuff. And my dad was producing music ever since I was a kid. I mean, I would always used to write like little jingles or little songs and stuff like that. And I kind of just wanted to invest back into myself in my creative space because that's what would make me happy, especially during the pandemic where you have no access to anything. You're isolated. You're kind of just left to your own devices. And I'm the type of person where I don't half-ass anything. So if I was going to record music, I was just going to do it all out. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, I'm going to put myself out there. And it ended up working out for me. And then, so yeah.
Period. So you said interesting journey. Why'd you use that word interesting?
Because I did not anticipate the outcome that my project has left an impact on me and the other people who have tapped into it. Because like I said, I solely did the project just for me. It was just like I was just making songs. I would write them, or I would listen to beats, and then I would be like, hey, this sounds really good. And then I would play it to like my friends and my family, and they'd be like, oh, this is good. But you know how when you're sharing something with close friends or people who are around you, family, they're kind of biased. So you don't really know if
they're being real or not. They're just telling you what you want to hear.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was like, you know what? Forget what everybody else may think. I'm going to just put it out. And I didn't think anybody was really going to like my music. I didn't think anybody was going to listen to it, but when I dropped it, I held like an intimate release party with just my friends and my family. If anything, if whatever outcome it turned out to be, they got to listen to it and enjoy it. And then it kind of was just a snowball effect of, okay, somebody seen it and heard it and liked it, and then put connections. And then I had my first show in September at the Future Forward Festival, and my career kind of just took from there.
Word, and we'll get to
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk to me.
You keep saying project, and tell the people what the project is. Tell them all about the project and let them know the name and everything.
So
we gotta put that out there.
Yeah, my fault, yo. I dropped an EP in July 31st. It's called Baby Steps. It has 6 tracks, and it kind of is just me being me, introducing myself, talking a little about who I am, what I stand for, and just kind of it's just being me. And the tracks are versatile, and they don't really have the same like sound, but it's heard, or I've heard it to be a cohesive project. So yeah, that's what it is.
I will get into the music, but I do just want to learn more first. So you said you were always in the arts. Your family, dad was a producer and things like that. When did you actually start putting the pen to the paper? When did you start making music?
Honestly, I don't have a specific date, but I know at least around the ages of maybe between 7 and 9, I remember writing little songs and showing them to my dad and like singing it. And I was always into spoken word and poetry. So I had a book of just my songs and my poems, and also it was like a diary of mine, so to express my feelings. And then after I had a stepmother, and she kind of read into the book, and I was writing about her and like my experience with her, and it kind of was like an invasion of privacy, and it made me feel like I couldn't vocalize myself anymore.
I feel like a lot of artists are like that.
You know, whether it was in paper or, you know, just speaking my mind, I felt like I couldn't do that anymore. So I was just really heavily into dance and step throughout elementary school, middle school, high school especially. And then, like I said, around like entering into college, I wrote some songs, but I would freestyle all the time with my friends. Like we would be doing activities.
I've seen videos.
You know, doing activities.
That shit look fun.
Activities.
Yeah, like we'll be doing activities, and we'll be in the car, or we'll be in my room, or I'll be at their house, and I'll literally, my voice memos to this day is filled with just us freestyling. Even if it doesn't make any sense, I've just always been doing that, especially with my best friend at the time. We would always do that. And then during the pandemic, that's when I was like, you know, I think these are good. I should record them, actually. I recorded a few songs when I was younger with my dad, with a younger best friend and stuff like that. And those are gone. They got erased, so I would never be able to hear what those sound like now. It would be interesting. But that's how long I've been writing, literally since I came out the womb.
Damn.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So technically you've been recording for the past like year.
Yeah.
All right, so you're still pretty much new with everything.
Very much.
Okay. All right. Boom. So now we can talk about the music. Fast forward to July, you dropped Baby Steps, your EP.
Yes.
Right. And then after that, you said, we were talking off mic, but you said you did a couple of shows. I obviously learned about you from the testing lab, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But it's been quite a jump since July, huh?
Yeah, it definitely has.
We're about to come to a year since the project came out. I feel like, since then you've been in a couple of spaces, been within a few circles.
For sure.
Yeah. So first I want to talk about how I was introduced to you. I was introduced to you at the testing lab. I think the last event that we had. And they introduced you, and I saw you in the crowd, but I didn't know you were an actual performer. So you went onto the stage, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, word. Let's see what Shorty can do. And then the music came on, and I was like, all right. And then she started rapping, and I was like, oh.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay. I missed everything. Went right over my head. And then she started rapping. I'm like, oh, Shorty's actually nice. Okay, this is dope. Wow. But then throughout the performance, because did you do two songs or 3 songs?
I did 3 songs.
Yeah, so during the whole thing, I was like, oh, Shorty's an actual performer, and it was dope seeing this. So when I was introduced to you at the testing lab, I was like, oh, Shorty looks like she got some time on her, some experience on her, so let me go ahead and do my research. And then going to do the research and only finding Baby Steps, made me do further research. And then when I did all that, I'm like, oh, all of this shit is brand spanking new. Yeah. I'm like, all this is brand spanking new. So I want to just ask just your experience in something like that happening so fast, and also with asking, how was your experience in dealing with that? How did you circulate your work around? Did you have a team helping you do that, or was it all just organically? I know I'm asking mad questions, but I just wanted you to go through all that.
Okay, let me dissect them individually. So I'm gonna go with how did my music circulate. I did not have a team of people when I was constructing and producing this project. I bought the beats off of YouTube. That's how I found them. I would just roast them. And then
that deserves a gunshot.
A friend of mine, an artist, his name is MOA Cash. I went to high school with him. He was doing music at the time. Right? He's on the EP. Yeah, he introduced me to a space to actually record my music. I recorded the entire project at the Mix Loft. It's a studio based in Quincy. And I connected with an engineer. His name is Will. He is dope. He is completely fire. And he helped with, recording the music and then with dropping it and the cover art. I did that by myself. So it was all new to me. I had no idea what I was doing. And then as for how it circulated once it dropped, it was just kind of word of mouth. I did not reach out to anybody for shows or events or hey, listen to this. I did promotional stuff. When I dropped, before I dropped, I did countdown 3 days, 2 days, the same color of my cover art and stuff. And then after, I just kept reposting, and my friends and my family just kept reposting, and it got to a whole bunch of different people. And then once I performed my first show in Roxbury, that's when everybody's like, yo, who is this? And I'm just like, wow. And for it to be a new experience for me, it was very much overwhelming, because now I'm introduced into this collective and space of creatives and other people who do this for real. They've been doing it for some time. And at the time, it's only been a couple of months before, after I dropped it. So, it was just it felt good, but it was overwhelming, because it's okay, now they're like, yo, what else do you have? What's next? Or what are you going to do? And it's well, I don't know. I didn't even anticipate this happening. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And it was just a whirlwind of just, wow. That's how I can, because I don't know, at the time I liked the project, but I I didn't have like confidence that it would reach those like levels for real. You know.
I'm curious because you said you didn't have a team behind you or anything like that, but you also said your dad's a producer on his own. So I'm curious as to why you didn't leverage that relationship and his connections to try to help you get your name out there as well. Why'd you decide to do it all on your own?
Well, that's because my dad, he was producing beats, but not like professionally. It was a hobby that he was invested in even before I was born. So, you know, he was, and he still does works construction, and he had, you know, he was more focused on providing and creating a foundation for his family. So that was kind of something that he was doing on the side. I really didn't have connections or resources to expand the way that I want to, and I also didn't know it was going to do that. So it was just like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. Let's put it in the universe, see what happens. And if something happens, hey. If it doesn't, hey, you know.
Fast forward, here we are.
And fast forward, look, I'm on the urban product.
So I want to know, like, when you first dropped Baby Steps, like, what was that first moment where you knew, like, yeah, I can really do this shit? Like, I'm meant for this. Like, what was that moment for you?
After I got off the stage of my first show, like, putting it out, like, I knew I wanted to do that. And once it was done, it was just like, all right, the project's out. But once I got called to perform and do my first show, and I actually executed it, and the response that I got from it, like, you could see the crowd of people, like the body of people, like, alive. I say this to this day. I wouldn't say I'm a religious person, but I'm a very faithful person and spiritual person. I've been in March, when I started recording the project, I started going to church independently, like, not without family or anything. I just introduced myself to God at that time. And I say to this day, I truly felt the presence of God on that stage. And when I got off, I just started bawling. After that is when I kind of knew, like, yo, this is something. It's something, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, like, wow. Like, I was just like, wow. You know, it led me to opportunities like this and meeting a whole bunch of amazing people, and it was just like, I don't know.
All right. I like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, hearing you talk about yourself and, like, the work you've put in and how it's really changed you, I kind of want to come see you perform. Because Devin, I remember when Devin saw you perform, he was talking about on the next show.
Yeah, he was.
And he never does that. So I know you left an impression.
It was on my Snap. It was on my IG. I said, shorty, never make eye contact while performing.
Kill me.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Nah, this is dope. This is dope.
And nah, for real. But, like, hearing you talk about it now, like, definitely let us know next time you at a show. Because I
have a show this Friday.
See, my thing is like,
okay. You the VB thing?
Nah. Oh no.
Nah. See, we got some. Yeah.
Okay, well, if you can't make that one, I have a show on the 23rd.
Let them know.
This 23rd, April 23rd, I have a show in Springfield. It's called Splitfield the 3rd.
That's fine.
And if you want, I think I have some tickets here, possibly, if you guys want to pop out to support.
What day is that?
23rd.
It's a
Saturday. Because
yeah.
we go on the 15th and the week after that. Yeah.
Heard.
It's a Saturday. But
Do
yeah,
a gang trip out of that.
you know.
You know what I mean? Have some fun.
Okay.
I mean, during, like, sorry, go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I wasn't saying you good.
What made me excited about having this conversation with you is, like, I've been trying to speak specifically with more women in the music scene. You feel me? I feel like I've talked to a lot of men, and all that's great, but I'm really and I mean, it's all great, but like, I'm really looking for women to take over in the space, because now, in terms of, like, women in hip hop, right now, not just Massachusetts, but in the industry overall, they're thriving.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I can't even give R&B male singers a shot anymore, because women are dominating in that field too. But now in hip hop, they're slowly starting to, you know, just make their waves everywhere, and I'm loving it. Like, dog, you can put a City Girls, I'm vibing right there. Like, I got Coil Ray shit on my phone. Like, you know, I bumped Nicki. Like, just all these other acts, Doja Cat, Shorty, like, just all these, just all of these acts just now making new waves in music, I feel like, okay, now with the artists that I have in Massachusetts, it's the perfect time for them to kind of do their thing too, because you have your younger acts popping off in other states. Like when Flo Milli had a little run, I was championing that, but I was listening to music like that, and I'm like, I know a couple artists from out here that kind of sound like that. So, you know, if everything in the ecosystem works the way that it's supposed to, I don't see why we can't push certain movements like that out there, which is why I'm trying to talk to more women in the space, because like, hey, anything that I can do to help, I'll do my best. So yeah, that's why I was actually very excited to have this conversation. But with you entering the game, like you said, you're still new with everything, but entering into this space as a woman, what has been some of your experiences?
Honestly, I haven't had any negative experiences. I was just talking to someone, and honestly, I was surprised that when I dropped my project, a lot of the reception that I was getting, or like the praises I was getting, was from men. Like, and that felt good because, you know, being a new artist coming into the hip hop scene, you know, that has in history mainly has been dominated by men. It felt good to hear or get respect, and I don't know, just validation, like, yo, you're fire, like this is great work, like keep it up, keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing something. And there's a lot of women who like my music, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm different from, I feel like I'm different from a lot of the artists who are women that are coming out, at least with, you know, my demeanor, what I'm talking about in my music, how I talk about myself, or I don't know, when at least from what I've heard, like, you know, it's like like with women artists, I don't listen to a lot of women. My favorite artist though is Rico Nasty, and I feel like some of the similarities that we have is like, it's like empowerment, and, you know, like, if I can do this, you can do this too. But in the past, I've heard, you know, women talk about, you know, I'm better than you, or you're, you know, this, that, or third, or trying to put themselves above other people, which is no problem. You can always think you're, you know, the shit, I guess. But
you're supposed to.
You're supposed to.
It's hip hop. I feel
but there wasn't a lot of music at the time that I was listening to from women in hip hop that was empowering other women. So yeah, like, I guess entering the scene is I've got nothing but good constructive criticism, and that's interesting because I haven't heard anything bad, and that's weird to me, because I'm the type of person where I always feel like I'm the hardest on myself because I always want to do better. I try to be the best version of myself that I can be and work on these things every single day, especially within my music. So for it to be a track record of like, you're good, like this and third, it's just like, it's overwhelming, because it's just like, dang, because everybody looks at Baby Steps and they're like, yo, this good, but from the music that I'm making now, I'm like, that's trash.
Of course.
Like,
That's
you're gross.
That's the whole process in evolution. You're supposed to, you know, evolve, you know?
But entering the scene, it's just been so warm and filled with light and love and so much support, most importantly. And I wouldn't say I don't come from, my family has always supported me, but when it came to like my arts and stuff, I would say it was lacking more than my parents caring about, like, okay, so how are your grades, or you know, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go to college? And it's just like, now that they see me doing what I'm doing, it's just like they're going full throttle with the support. And on top of my family, I got all this outside of support from people who I'm just now meeting, which is, it feels so good. It's validating, not in like a egotistic sense, but like, just like, I don't know, very humble, like, you know, like giving me my props, giving me my flowers, to know that I'm doing something good and that I am gonna be something. Because sometimes I don't even believe in myself like that. I didn't believe that I could reach these heights with my music, so it feels good.
So I like to hear.
Just off the EP too, Strength.
Off of one.
Nah, that EP is fire.
That EP is
That EP
fire.
is fire. I ain't gonna lie. When I first listened to it, I wasn't expecting you to come.
No album out. Sorry.
I wasn't expecting you to come on the
I was about to go full Nicki. It's crazy.
Start the EP the way you did. But my question is for you. You said, all right, you got a performance on the 23rd. You're working on a new project. So I really want to know, like, what's next for you throughout this year, 2022? Like, when are you releasing that new project? You dropping any singles before then? Like, because we haven't heard anything new since Baby Steps.
Yeah,
so you got a lot of people waiting and clamoring for new music. So what's going on with you?
So before
Nah, go ahead.
Before I fully answer that question, I've been saying this a lot with people when they ask me, like, what's next? I really just am focusing right now on being patient with myself and being patient with the craft and not really submitting to what outside forces are expecting or may be looking forward to. Because I think for me, what's important is working and building on my craft and building my sound and building who key is, what is key, and what do I want to admit to the world. Because this is not just like, I really could care less about the fame and the fortune and the money that can come with it. It's my impact and my connection with my audience and the people that I'm growing with. So right now I'm working on a project, and I can't really say a date because, like I said, I'm still in the works of it, but I can talk a little bit about what it's going to be. We're talking a lot about, my journey when I dropped music in last year, and, I've been getting all this good reception and good feedback, and that's what it may look like from the outside, but in the inside, it hasn't just been green grass and flowers and butterflies. It's been very difficult because I'm fairly new to the scene. I feel like there is anticipation. There is, okay, so if that's your first thing, what's next? You know what I mean? And like I said, I strive to be better every day. So it's kind of like I got people and then I got me, and it's just like, So it's kind of, I want to take everybody through this roller coaster of emotion and the journey that I've been, the high points of my starting career, but also the dark and low points that I've experienced, and really kind of portraying to people. And I feel like just my 1 year journey is a testament to this, but whatever you want to do, you can literally put your mind to. You can do it no matter who says anything, no matter what circumstance. Like, as long as you believe in yourself and you're consistent and you put the work in, there's no limit to what you can reach. And that's kind of what I want to portray in my project. It's definitely going to be the same heavy hitting key sound, but I am going to get a lot more vulnerable with how I've been feeling,
I look forward to that.
I do too.
Thank you. Yeah. There are going to be singles and visuals and stuff around that release, but I'm looking forward to that and all the collaborations and features that I've been doing with a lot of the local artists in the scene. So I'm excited for you guys to hear what I've been working on so far.
I'm excited to hear it. So wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
You said that, like, you're not focused on the fame, you're focused on your outreach and, like, your impact on the community, right?
For sure.
So when you see artists that are originally from Boston, like Bia and Coyle Ray, making these big time move collabs with, like, J. Cole and Nicki, do you think maybe that can push you more to being like, like, if they can do it, like, I can definitely do it? Or, like, is it just like it's out of sight, out of mind? It's just strictly just.
It really is. I look at artists like that, and I know that I'm capable of doing that. Period. In a way. It's like, oh yeah, say that. I can definitely one day, like, be there. It kind of, like, puts more fuel to my fire. But right now, that's solely not, like, what I'm focused on for real. Like, right now I'm unemployed, and this is my life. This is whatever turmoil, whatever obstacles, adversities that's going to come with it's going to come. but this is my main focus and priority, and I'm just working on building that. Money will come in any way, shape, or form, whether it's music, whether it's a 9 to 5, whatever. You can get money in this day and age any way, but what sets certain artists apart that I can tell within the industry is if like they're solely, you know, doing it for money or for the fame or for the look, and who's actually passionate about their craft. And taking their time. You know what I mean? There's reasons why we wait years for Kendrick albums and Cole albums and things like that, and it displays in their bodies of work the effort and time that they took and put in. And I want to do the same thing.
Okay, I respect that.
Do you ever have that fear though, that in waiting to release whatever music or work you may have may start to, you know, just not be it anymore, or you might not like it anymore? Because I've dealt with artists who, you know, have had so much heat in the tuck and they've just kept it in the tuck for so long, and they never choose to release it, and maybe by the time they might want to release it, they just don't fuck with it anymore.
The way
the
he
song is now trash.
The way he just looks at you, I know you got stuff in the vault.
Yeah, I'm just
I know you got stuff in the vault.
I remember I can say like an artist in particular. I remember sitting down with Block, and like when he played me them joints in the
parking lot,
bro.
Yeah,
but nigga, bro.
But like I understand, you know, every artist goes through their own process of releasing music, but I just know him now probably versus the back then. Some of them joints he probably might not feel anymore, and I understand because you know you're
just not in that headspace.
Not in that space no more.
But I'm like, damn, that would have been the perfect time to release it, let it do what it got to do, and then move on to your next phase. But like, yeah, do you ever have instances like that when you're like maybe working on something new, and you, like you're saying, don't want to release it, but now you're just tired of it?
That's an interesting question, because that was actually a topic of discussion that I've had not only with myself but other artists, where, you know, they have these songs in the tuck and it's like they're, like you said, they're not in that mental space, that head space anymore, and they just aren't feeling it. I think I'm still, I haven't experienced that right now, because it's not like I have a back catalog of a whole bunch of body of work still where new, you know, I'm still very much new, and I'm still, you know, creating music and cooking every single day, but there have been like tracks that I've started or I've had, and it's just like, I don't know if I'm messing with this anymore, but I find different ways to still take these things and make it something new, or recycle it, or repurpose it.
Ooh, I like
that. Repurpose it. Whether that's like features that I've done, or like demos that I've recorded and they haven't been mixed and mastered. Like I'll do it a cappella at a show, and that's the only time that you'll hear it. And maybe like the footage that's taken from that show, that's the only time you're gonna hear it. But it makes like moments like that when I'm performing live like special, because it's like whoever's presently here at this moment y'all are the only group of people to hear this. You know, but I haven't had that feeling where I'm tired of the work that I already did, because it's always something new with me, honestly. I'm excited, honestly.
Yeah, and I believe you when you say that, because like you said, you dropped this project back in July. When I was introduced to you, that's when I was learning everything for the first time. But even from July all the way to now that we're about to be in April, well, no, we are in April. So even from then to now, I've seen you repurpose your music in multiple forms, whether that's in performances, you know, you don't perform every track the same from how I've like seen. So it's dope when you can just be versatile and multifaceted like that. People don't get bored. People aren't constantly asking for more and new when you can find alternative ways to like repurpose what you already have. You feel me? So that's why I think it's dope when you can do things like that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier, Darnell, you about to say something. Go right ahead, my brother.
No, you say what you got to say.
All right. I was going to say, you were saying earlier how we were talking about your parents supporting you and what you do. And I remember we also had a conversation earlier just about, you know, the mass scene and us supporting each other.
Right.
But you know how like the arts and just music in general isn't respected as much as it should be just in the community. I was going to say, if it was, right, if it was respected as it should be, do you think parents and families would be more supportive of their children, thus leading to mad artists just finally being able to do what they got to do? Because when she was talking about her parents like pushing her for school and shit, I'm like, yo, same ass boat. My dukes don't give a fuck about any of this, bro. My dukes don't give a fuck about any of this. But I'm just like, Mom, I'm trying to show you, like, yeah, the degree is cool, but like, this
is
if I
impactful.
flip this the right way, dog. But you know, I'm just saying. But if she had like people in the community let her know that, yo, this is actually dope, but the potential of this is actually fire, or if she was in a community where things like this were happening all the time, she would be more susceptible to accepting that her child is like in this space as well. So that's why I'm just saying, that's why I asked, I'm like, yo, if everyone was
I
more
think
accepting,
100%, because I was just watching this TikTok, and it was particularly this young Asian woman, and her parents were talking to her about like what she planned on doing. I think she had like, she was in school and she had like a major something in the arts or something, and they're like, well, what are you gonna do when this, that, and third? It's because they don't see the value in it. They don't. People who aren't creatives and who aren't artists have a different perspective or outlook on like what the value in it is.
Yep.
We may see impact, we may see like longevity, you know, and they just see like, well, that's not bringing money in to pay the bills right now.
Right now.
Right now.
I see the long-term plan.
Yes.
When you talk about right now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
So I do believe if the arts and the culture around it was respected, or people seen the value in it a lot more, it could lead to a lot of opportunities for creatives and for young aspiring artists. Because I don't know, I feel like the only things that we have, like we have like events and stuff, and there's like a few art schools like BAA. Like I wanted to go to BAA, but I went to BLA for my high school, and they thought that was a better alternative because I'm a pretty smart kid.
Yeah, like
but
Boston Line, right?
yeah, Boston Line
What's
Academy.
BAA? What's that?
Boston Arts Academy.
Oh, okay.
So instead of doing what I wanted to do, what I felt like, because I was a dancer at the time, and advancing in that, you know, I was struggling because, yeah, it's a good academic school, but I don't find any interest in anything else in that. So I feel like, yeah, we could be long, like, in our crafts and stuff.
I honestly feel like if there were more opportunities for artists, creatives in the city in general, then parents probably would be more receptive to that. Because the testing lab is fairly new. This podcast is fairly new when it comes to, you know, giving people a platform to showcase their abilities. And that's just musically. We're not talking about, I haven't seen many dance versions of the testing lab, for example, or writing or painting, for example. So if there was more opportunities, I feel like, which is what we're trying to do, create those opportunities for people, I feel like parents would be pushing their parent or their kids into the arts, into being a creative. So I feel like it's all about just starting those opportunities and getting people aware of what's out there, so they don't feel like they have to go the school route or anything like that. But I wanted to ask you, you mentioned this earlier, I mean, you've heard nothing but great things so far in your career up to this point. But you said you're very hard on yourself. And I just kind of want to know, like, how do you balance that out, where you don't psych yourself too much and get overcritical of your own abilities and what you're doing versus what everyone else is telling you, and not getting too high on that? Like, how do you manage that?
I think it's very difficult for me to manage that on my own. I find myself getting frequently into these spaces where I feel like I'm not doing enough, I'm not enough, questioning if this is something I'm supposed to be doing, you know, am I doing it right? But what I do feel like grounds me in those times is the community of people that I'm around that are helping and supporting me. Especially my manager. Sadiq. He'll, he always is like, what's wrong, Key? Like, what's going on? Talk to me. Like, how can I support you? How can I be there for you? What should we do? And always reassuring me. And, I'm around a great collective of individuals, like Thrill, Breach Mob, KOBK, which are local groups of artists and creatives in the city. And they definitely have become a family of mine. And I can say that wholeheartedly. And those are the people that, provide me reassurance and support and let me know that, hey, like, it's just a bump in the road right now. We're going to go through things, but you got this. Like, feel me? Remember your potential. Remember who you are. Remember what you're capable of doing, what you're capable of being, who you are. And that kind of regroups me and allows me to get in a better headspace mentally. And also going to church and continuing and building my relationship with God and praying and just staying faithful. Those are the things that ground me in those times.
Mm-hmm.
What made you take that step?
Which step?
Spirituality or becoming closer.
So growing up, I wasn't a religious kid at all. My mother is still to this day and now trying to find herself, doing different religions, Catholic, Muslim, Jehovah's Witness, Christian, all this other stuff. My dad wasn't really into church because he was working all the time. So I didn't really have any type of spiritual outlook on life until last year. And I have a friend, his name is Ideal. He's an artist and he creates clothes. He has a clothing brand called Ideal Appeal. You should check him out on Instagram. But he also is a drummer and he went to BAA. Okay. And his father is a pastor of a church that they have within their family. Cool. And I had a friend.
I know those church drummers. Church drummers go crazy.
Yeah, they are insane. They're insane. They're so dope. But I had a friend at the time who was working on their album, and they were going to fly to Florida to finish it. And before they went, they were like, hey, can you pop out to service with me? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to. I haven't been to church in mad long. I don't go to church like that. But I was like, I'm an open-minded person, so I'm like, I will give it a try. I can't guarantee you how I'm going to react or if it's going to leave an impact on me, but I'll go. So we went that Sunday service, and I cannot describe the feeling. I cannot tell you what was said in that service, but I know that I left feeling some type of way, and I felt, I just felt good. I felt released. Mm-hmm. And every Sunday, if I could make it, literally every Sunday since then, even if my friends didn't show up that Sunday, I made it a point to go to church to see if, what could this be, and to pray. And I truly do not feel like if I wasn't going to church that I would be in this circumstance right now. I feel like God has played a big role in where I'm at today, and I chose to do that independently on my own, without family, without friends involved, and just to ground myself and to at least believe in me and believe that everything will be okay. And it definitely has left a great positive impact on me to this day, and I still go. I went last Sunday, I'm going to go this Sunday on Easter, and it's just been a journey since then. And it's crazy because, like I said, I started recording baby steps the same month I started going to church.
Oh, wow.
So it's been a year journey for each of those things. So it's amazing to look back on where I was then a year ago and to where I'm at now. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I respect it.
That's beautiful.
I respect that shit.
I'm really not even going to hold you. I'm off. Like, when you were saying, I'm like, yo, when's the last time I've been to church?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to pull my Easter fit together now.
You know?
I'm trying to get my Easter fit together.
Know your Sunday's best.
Okay.
Facts, you feel me?
I better get on it.
You know?
What else was I just had something in my head.
Let me ask him a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up?
So, like I told you before, Dead to Me spoke to my soul.
Okay.
What was the backstory on that? Because you was talking your shit on that song.
And
So
play
I
it in
know
the background while y'all talk.
I know there's a little bit of backstory to that, because I know you're talking to some people on that song.
I am.
I'll just play it in the background while y'all talk.
So I think for me, it was just like, let me hear it. Let me hear myself real quick.
Wonder why your homeboy keep texting me. Say he wanna lay up and get next to me. All you niggas dead to me. Okay. Deep on the little nigga head to feet. Okay. Wonder why your homeboy keep texting me. Say he wanna lay up and get next to me.
That's just violent.
Honestly, I think I was just over people playing around with me and taking me for granted. Honestly, and doubting me. I was just tired of it, you know. I think it was just like more on a relationship type thing. Even though I wasn't in a relationship, I was just like tired of people playing with me and thinking I'm not serious, or feel like they can treat me and talk to me any type of way. And just to, like, I don't know, a confidence booster, like, what? You know who I am? Like, no, I'm done with everybody. Like, I'm on this. So yeah. And just looking at other people and seeing like how they operate, and it's just like not authentic, not genuine, not being true to themselves. And I'm tired of all this fakeness and all this bullshit. And no, I'm me and I got this, and y'all are dead to me, period. And then I recorded it with my friend when I went to the Mix Loft, MOA Cash, and he just hopped on it for fun to see what it would look like. And then I had my other boy at the time, Straight to God, hop on it because he was like, nah, I gotta hop on this. So I'm like, you know, it could be like the trio, like the like, who was on that set? Like, it was like Lil Baby, Three-headed ghost, some type stuff, you feel me? Okay. It was gonna be, you know, like, you know, be on some that type of time. I'm like, that, hey, yeah. So that's how that track came to me. I'm really glad that speaks to you.
Yeah,
so
talk your shit.
And I don't know, me, within my music, regardless if you like the production of it, the beat, whether you like what I'm saying lyrically, I just want people to feel me. I know we've been in these situations where, you know, people, you know, doubt us, or, you know, they talk down, or you may feel not confident. I just like giving. I want to give a confidence booster. I want to reassure, like, you can do this. Like, don't matter what nobody says or thinks about you or how you're being perceived. Be you and stand on it. And that's it.
I heard this and I was like, yo, the DMV would love you.
Yes, they would.
Yo, like, that means a lot, because
I was ready to fucking DM this to Wale. I was like, yo, that's you right there.
That means a lot, because Rico Nasty's my favorite artist, like I said earlier. She's from the DMV. And just seeing all the other artists pop out from the DMV is fire. So it's just like, hopefully, like, slowly but surely, I'm creeping out and I'm expanding to these different areas and being exposed to these different crowds of people and this audience. So I don't know where my journey is gonna be, but, you know, even like y'all having me on the podcast, like, it's just another
stepping stone, and
it reassures me that, you know, like, not only am I growing, but who I'm around and where I'm from is growing, because it's bigger. This is way bigger than just me. Like I said, it's not. I don't really care about the attention. I don't really care about the fame. I just want growth. I just want growth for me and, you know, my city and all the other artists and creatives that I'm around, and also showing the younger generation, because, like I said, at the time, you know, the arts are looked at something that isn't as valuable than having a 9-to-5 and being a doctor or a teacher or a police officer, you know, the standard societal things, like showing them, like, yo, if you want to dance, you can dance. You can be the most famous dancer. You can be a rapper. You can be a painter. You can have your own clothing line. You can produce beats. You can make videos. You can take photos. You can do photography, and you can make a living off of it. Like, that can be your life. That can be you. Whatever you want to do, you can do it for real. So, yeah, I just want to grow.
Period.
And I love watching your journey. No bullshit. Like, I resonate with you every time I see you perform. Like, honestly, like when I saw you at the testing lab, when you started to rock out, like that's when I was fully invested. That's when I was tapped in. You feel me? I'm like, oh, I like this girl. You feel me? She's nice. Yeah. So literally, I know everything's fairly new, relatively new, but yeah, we'll definitely be tapped in throughout the next phases.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you'll definitely see me. I'll be up there. Facts. I was curious because I was looking over your music, just the title "Pussy-ish" about. What that come about?
Pussy shit about.
Pussy shit about. It said pussy-ish, but it's pussy shit.
No, it's PUSSEI, like pussy, like key is spelled key.
Oh, I see what you did
KEI.
there. I see what you did there.
Pussy shit SHI bout. Pussy shit bout.
Bet.
So when I was writing the song, I was trying to formulate the bars. I'm like, talking all that tough shit. Wanna get fucked with? Put your ass out. Oh, wretched asshole, put on a pose, do it for the clout. Yeah, I knew they doubt. Fucking with me, it's going south. Bumping their gums and running their mouth. I don't even know what that pussy shit about. And I like the way I was like delivering it. It was like it was like all together. So I was like, pussy shit about. Like, how am I gonna say this? I'm like, nah, it's gonna be like a one word phrase like pussy shit about. Like, I don't know what that pussy shit about. And I was like, how would I spell that though? I wouldn't want it with the Y. And I'm like, well, pussy. EI instead of Y, because key, you know, and then like shit about. And I was like, all right. And then I kind of just started building the song after that. And like, that's one that really just gets me in my bag. That's a lot of people's favorite because I tend to perform that last because I know the reaction is a given based off of my energy, because it's just like, it's the same thing energy like dead to me. Like, I don't know what that rah is about. You can't mess with me. I'm a Gemini, so it's just like I'm very sweet. Why are you making that face? Why are you making that face? Most people think Geminis are crazy, but like I feel like it's reversed. Like I'm very calm, very down to earth, but you have to really get that out of me. But once that's out, like it's nothing stopping me. Like I'm blacking, like I'm going on. Like I don't know about that. That's a little insane to me.
I mean, because she seemed like nice and personal, but then when she said once the other side, I'm like, I seen this bubbly, nice person. I don't want to know what the other side is like.
No, most people don't. I promise you.
Okay.
Even when I be getting hangry, Sadiq knows. It's just like, oh no.
Damn, niggas be catching strays when you get angry, bro.
I just get aggravated, like, gosh. I don't know, but yeah.
Another thing that I think is dope about you, the fact, because I remember you saying that you write poetry, but you would get tight if people like read your poetry or like if your family stumbled upon
Invasion
your poetry.
of privacy.
No, I so basically that book, I was writing poetry and I was writing spoken word, but it was also a diary, and I had a stepmother at the time, and we didn't really have a good relationship growing up, so I would vocalize myself in words through the book. So she read it and kind of like
trying to flip
scolded me for it, like, why are you writing about me, or like threw it away or something, and it made me feel like I couldn't vocalize myself in any way, shape, or form. So why do it? So as a kid, like my parents at a certain point in time deemed me disrespectful. I feel like I definitely wasn't a disrespectful kid, but I was at a certain time, I got tired of not being able to vocalize myself, and I would, but not in a disrespectful way, but I would be very truthful. And you know, as parents, they don't like to hear the truth about how their kids feel about how they treat them or how they raise them, because it's most of the time it's like, I'm the parent, you're the child. And it's like, my mentality is, I don't care who you are. You could be the president of the United States, police officer, my teacher, I don't care. Right is right to me, and wrong is wrong, regardless who you are, across the board. So when I would make that apparent, they wouldn't like that. Okay. So, but prior to, you know, me being able to be confident and voice myself, I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't want to, or I didn't feel like I could. Not even with my friend. I mean, not even with my family, but with friends, or, you know, bullies in school and stuff like that. I wouldn't like drama, or I wouldn't like fights. So when those times of like altercation would happen, or like stuff like that, I wouldn't know how to vocalize myself until now. Cause like, I don't know. I feel like high school key would be very much proud of who I am today with like, I don't even know what that shit about. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Because at the time, I couldn't say that.
Yeah, that's why
you
it's
know?
dope that you
Like,
went from, the
girls,
diary, not wanting, certain people to see it, to now just expressing yourself on a
Bigger
stage,
scale.
on a bigger stage. Like, it's dope
Yeah.
just going from that transition. You feel me? Like, it's really dope. It's really dope. All right, so
Thank you.
No problem,
Thank
no
you guys
problem.
so much.
Yeah.
I
Of
appreciate it.
man.
so I do want to wrap up, but before I wrap up, do any of you have any more questions?
Do you have a question?
Oh yeah, do you have a question?
Not yet.
No,
not
not-
off the top of the head.
Not off the top.
We building that.
Are you
We
Haitian?
building.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
My dad, he's from England.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
love.
Oh, what's your ethnicity? We didn't get there.
So
It's
I
a long
bought.
list.
It is because, but I can say this: my dad, he was born in England, but on that side, my family is from Montserrat, which is a small little island, and my mother, she's from Philadelphia, but my grandmother is black, and my grandfather is Choctaw Indian.
Oh wow.
I bought the ancestry test so I can see
Fire.
exactly to see exactly what I am.
am.
So it's just like, yeah, I don't be doing all that extra.
I
I'm
feel
black.
you.
I'm
As soon as
just
I got
black.
that sigh, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm just black. You know?
Nah, only reason I asked that was because when you were talking about that story about like you confronting your parents about shit you didn't appreciate or just the way right and wrong, that sounded like a
He got triggered.
I got triggered.
Oh yeah,
Yo,
okay.
first generation kids be going through hell, bro.
For sure, yeah.
So I
generation be going
got mad
through
Haitian
hell,
friends. We've all been through that same thing. That's why I was like, yo, she Haitian?
Nah, believe it or not, we all been through them struggles. You feel
Okay.
me?
Yeah.
All right, word. So, damn, I don't got time to talk about. Is there much new music? Do I got to talk
mean,
about
There
new
was new
music?
music.
I got a Fabio tape, but I don't know
You
if I
wanna
got
wait?
time to talk about that.
Do you want to wait for it?
I might have to wait to talk about that.
There was a lot.
Bobby.
Do I got time? All right, beautiful.
you?
Why don't we have time?
Yo, Fabio dropped a tape, right?
18
Fabio
tracks.
dropped a
18
tape, right?
tracks?
We're going to talk
Yeah, it was
about
a
new
lot.
music for a second. It was
Sheesh.
called The Bible.
It's called the Bible. Oh yeah, I
17
seen that. I
tracks,
seen the
my
cover art to that.
Facts.
fire.
17 songs long. Finally, we got
17.
his debut project after Big Drip and all of the other singles. We finally get his debut project. Features include Quavo, Kanye, and Alicia Keys, of course.
Yay?
Queen Naija, Coi Leray, Chloe's on there. You got ASAP on there. Yachty's on there. TJ,
DJ
Young
Khaled.
Blue, Vori, Blueface. You got Neo on there. Polo
Neo.
G, a whole list.
He got everybody on there.
Neo on
How
some
you get
drill
these
is
feats?
hilarious.
That was different. I didn't expect that.
This
That was a
nigga-
different
yo,
one.
This man Fabio has been putting his stamp. I ain't gonna lie, like what you've been saying the last like 6 months has been.
I've been
100%
hyping up
No,
this
yeah,
release.
yeah.
This man Devin has been hyping up his release, and I was honestly impressed with Fabio.
Same.
I didn't think he had the range and like the versatility to give me the album that he gave me.
Because sometimes he be rapping in bullet points. I understand.
You feel me?
But
You
he's
feel me?
grown.
I really
He's
like
grown.
yo, no bullshit. I really always thought I was only gonna get like 1 or 2 flows from this nigga, but like on this album, I was like, damn,
He went off.
almost every song is like kind of different. But I kind of appreciate the fact that Kanye produced this.
The entire.
Well, he didn't produce. He's the executive producer.
What's the
So
difference?
he overlooked the project. He wasn't the
Okay.
main
wasn't
producer
the
on
main
every
producer.
song.
amount of samples
but, like,
that were
Finishes
in this?
touches.
yeah, he had the finishing touches and he gave the okay before it went out.
So
Okay.
the only reason I mention that is because the amount of samples that this man like throwback, I was like, yo, this is definitely Kanye. He's
I knew there was money behind the project.
Yeah, oh hell yeah. So I was just like, damn. And he was killing every single one of them. So Fabio did his thing. He did his thing definitely.
Facts. My favorite songs on this.
I was about to ask.
You gonna listen to it?
Is
Nah.
Oh, you were busy, girl.
I mean,
hear
it just came out. Give it some time. Give
And
it some
mad
time.
artists don't be listening to other artists.
I'm
They
gonna
focus on
listen.
their
I'm
own
gonna listen.
sound.
I'm gonna start listening to it on the way back.
Okay, very. Oh, this will be a good one.
Magic
Started
City is
today.
still my shit. I think up to this point I may have lost $300 because of that song.
What?
But
What?
you know, hey, the women are happy, so it's okay.
Wait, huh?
what?
It's okay.
This nigga, bro.
It's okay. Magic City is an amazing song to hear in the outside.
My mind
You
is
feel me? It's a great
Blown.
song.
Mind blown.
I love this man.
My
bro.
other favorite is probably World Watching with Lil TJ and Young Blue. Young
okay,
Blue,
okay,
bro,
okay, yeah, they did
went
that.
floated all over that beat,
Changed
bro.
on me with Vori.
Changed on me, grew
Change
on
on
me.
me with Roy. With
That shit go crazy.
Now your man's Polo G has been doing
Did
this
his
thing
thing,
for a
bro.
while. I haven't been championing him as much, but Polo G, after 3 projects and a couple of features, he proved that he's here to stay. So I can't be mad at Polo G. You feel
I ain't
me?
gonna lie, I fucked with his remake of So Sad with Neo.
So Sick.
So Sick.
Yeah,
My fault.
they flipped So Sick with Neo. And
class.
they did
It's crazy.
the
I
drill.
listened to that shit this weekend too. Posted about it and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of samples on this that they flipped
bro.
with drill. Like What's My Name is the Destiny Child flip.
Hello. Listen.
You good?
Yes, that song. No, that song was just fire. Like he did that. That song was for the ladies.
Yeah.
Just,
Of course.
I have a question. Speaking of samples, how do you feel about all these samples going on in music right now, like, and flipping them?
If it sounds good, I don't give a damn. As long as it sounds good.
I'm a little bit of both. I feel like it's nice to see taking what was old and making and refreshing it and revamping it to the younger generation who didn't know about it. But at the same time, it's like, how long are we going to keep doing samples, if that makes sense?
I mean, samples will never die out because hip hop started on samples.
I don't know.
DJ's been flipping records. So like
gonna know.
samples have just
He's the one
evolved
to know.
throughout time. You feel me? But like
I
since
feel-
hip hop
yeah.
started, DJ put the record on the vinyl and the turntable and you had your MC spin. It's been nothing but samples. But I would say nowadays, we're kind of entering the era where we're now old enough where all of our old time classics are starting to get flipped. You feel me? Like now we're in the modern age where the 2000s singles are starting to get flipped.
I don't know how I feel about that, because it's just like, I don't know. I love the concept of sampling, but I feel like now it's just like they just doing
It's just
anything,
it's
like
24/7,
drill song
yeah.
sampling,
Yeah,
and then you
drill.
go
See, that's
and
when
then
it's bad.
and then
Yeah.
you go on TikTok, right? And then all the young kids know the sample tracks and they don't know where it
Where it's
stemmed
coming
from.
from,
And it's
yep.
just like, what do you mean? Oh, I don't know what the actual song.
I just
but
know the TikTok
this.
version.
Like, no, and then you only know 30 seconds of the track.
But that lets you
Exactly.
know that we're getting old.
I know.
That's all it
Don't
is.
remind
That's
me.
really
Don't
all it is.
remind me, bro.
Just
I'm
like,
alright.
like, damn, that's
Yeah.
like
It's
Remind
our
me.
time now. You
Don't
know
remind
what
me.
I mean? Like when I was going through these samples off this album, the Fabio album, all these samples made sense because like these songs are over 15 years old, but I'm just, you know, I'm now 25, so it makes sense. I'm like,
makes sense,
damn,
yeah.
you know, but it makes complete sense where they're doing it at right now. I'm just surprised Beyonce approved the sample, but hey, you know.
No, he said something about that too. He said at first, the first version he did was very vulgar, and Beyonce told him like you had to bring it down a
Cut
little
it out.
bit. Yeah, like you gotta
Cut
cut a little
that
bit
shit.
about.
Cut that
Beyonce
And then-
told the killer to relax.
No, literally, it's in the interview. She literally told
Beyonce
him
got
like
that kinda
you gotta
pull.
calm down. So
Yeah.
hey, I like it the way it is. Chloe
Yeah.
did that.
Overall, just to end off talks on this project, I'm just proud, like I said, of how far Fabio has been able to take this since Pop it passed. Like, obviously, Pop was the guy. He was supposed to be the guy, and unfortunately, he was taken away from the world very tragically. But I saw Fabio pick up the baton, and now he's carrying it, and I'm proud of what he's been able to do with it since. So, hey, if you haven't had the opportunity to check out, go ahead, listen to it. I would say it's a much more polished version of the drill you're probably used to hearing.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
feel me? It's a much more
Okay.
polished. There's money behind this production. You feel me? And not getting shit, you know, just shipped them, you know, it's different out there. But yeah, go ahead, check that out. Other shit that came out, Coi Leray surprisingly dropped an album. So there was no release to
listened to
this
it.
tape. She just dropped her debut album. I respect the shit out of that. Let me just go ahead and say that. It's called Trendsetter. Features include Nicki, of course. Fabio is on that. You got Herbo, her. Dirk's on there, of course. Polo G, Tekka, A Boogie. She got a couple names on this album.
Hey, Boogie.
Yeah, I know you don't like him.
Yo,
I know you don't like him.
he fell off.
I know.
I'm
Should have
hip.
mentioned him last week. You fuck with him?
Oh.
What I can say with Coi Leray.
I like A Boogie.
I like
you
A
just
Boogie.
don't like him.
I like
never
early
fucked with
Boogie.
His voice.
Early.
Early, yeah. I mean,
like DTB
Yeah,
Boogie.
yeah.
Facts. Thought I could trust you.
I never really fucked with that voice.
That's how he raps. But what I will say about the Coi Leray project is, you know, back in the day, like before No More Parties, I really didn't take Coi Leray seriously. No, I'm just being honest. Before that, I didn't take
That's
that.
what it took.
Yeah, before No More Parties.
crazy.
Was I supposed to?
I mean, me personally, I favor like underground Koi more than now.
I heard her shit when she was underground. I was not that big of a fan of it. But like, I understand why you're a fan of it, because the energy, the energy, I could definitely, that makes sense.
I don't know, the TikTok songs just wasn't hitting for me.
Oh no, that wasn't hitting at all for me. No More Parties was a vibe just because of what it was. Like all the other joints I really wasn't fucking with. In terms of Coi Leray, I take her seriously now because I see what she sounds like when she's putting together an album. You know what I mean? And the track that she did with Nicki, that Blick Blick.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit was crazy.
I think she held her ground with Nicki. I think she held her ground with Nicki.
That's
You know
hard.
what I mean?
She spazzed on that shit.
So hearing that lets me know, I can take her seriously. She's nice. She ain't just Trippy's ex or Benzino's daughter. She's much more than that. She's much more than that. This is not a dig.
I know.
This is reality.
I'm just giving the reaction some people are giving at this moment.
It's alright. I got you.
Crazy.
But it lets me know that she's here to stay, and hopefully her label and whoever's backing her puts her in the right direction, because I think 100%. She has potential to be like festival big if she has the right team with her. You feel me?
She definitely has the social media presence to get herself to that point. So she just needs to keep dropping consistently and just keep dropping that heat.
Yes.
So,
I know you wanted to talk about 4-2
like
Doug
that.
and EST.
Did I want to talk about it?
No,
Did anyone listen to it?
That's your game.
Did you listen to it?
I did not.
Did you listen to it?
On my phone.
Did you listen to it?
It's on my
Dance to
phone.
it.
I just hasn't listened.
ESTG and 42 Doug?
I just haven't listened to
I
it yet.
ain't gonna talk about it if no one listens to it.
I guess
your
next
dog.
week. I know.
EST is my dog. 42.
Not so much.
Nah, he complimented. All right, might as well talk about it. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
So all right, they dropped an album together. They both. What happened?
I said because you want to. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my boy ESTG, he hasn't missed once ever since he dropped. He dropped a joint album with 42 Doug, 17 tracks, 3 music videos on there. I honestly think this is hood gospel right now. This is straight Memphis music. You gonna get usual ESTG. I wouldn't say this album is gonna blow you out the water, but it's definitely gonna hold you down for when they drop their own individual projects.
Okay.
So if you like trap music, you like they got some drill beats in there, but they ain't really saying much.
Would I like it? You know how I feel about 4-2.
No, you wouldn't like it.
You know how I feel about 4-2.
Bro, that's why I said I didn't want to.
I haven't liked anything since We Paid, bro. That's tough.
Bro, 42.
That's tough.
42 Doug is hit or miss for me, but he does his part in this album. Yeah, there are some verses where I'm just like, I could throw that away. I'd rather not hear it, and then just listen to EST. But I listen to every track, and they're all okay.
Okay,
they're all okay.
All right.
I wouldn't say there's a terrible track.
I'll roll up to it. How about that?
You can do that.
I'll roll up to it.
That's never a bad idea. That's never a bad idea.
And then let's end music talk with the hometown. You feel me? Bia released a single. You feel me? Let me give gunshots for the home team. Feel me? From Medford, Massachusetts. Hold on, up the gunshots. You feel me? Bia released a single with J. Cole over the weekend. Came out of nowhere. I think she announced it maybe 2 days prior. It's called London. They are both putting on their best London accent.
I like it both. Go ahead, babes. Go ahead, babes.
I heard it and I was like, yo, they're gonna do some. They're gonna find some way to hate on that shit, yo. Because we know she don't talk like that. So someone in the UK gonna find time to hate on that shit.
They're gonna hate on every American person who has an accent.
That tries it, yeah.
But honestly, I thought that track was pretty fire. The only comment that I did say is, it was really long. It was 4 minutes and some change. And I feel like if they did not drop the visual at the same time, it wouldn't have got the same reception.
I feel that. I see what you're saying. I
do too.
I feel like that's the problem with music nowadays. People don't like hearing long songs. That's why, to me,
the attention span, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like TikTok fucking everything up. Like IG is fucking everything up. Like I have no problem listening to long tracks if they got substance and they actually saying shit. If they just I don't even know, doing nothing on the beat, then I hear it. But like, I felt like they did their thing for 4 minutes on that track.
I think Cole took up most of that, and then the repeated choruses.
Crazy.
Yes, he did.
He spazzed.
He spazzed on
That's what I'm
that.
saying. He did block on that.
Wait, Rich.
You got what did I do?
No, I'm asking you a
Why
question.
you
Why are
think
you
he
so
would do
triggered, bro?
something?
Okay.
Trigger
Man's
why?
always on edge.
Why are you so triggered, bro?
Why you say my name like that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for the smoke. What's
What you
up?
call it? No, last week it was like, you know, how Kendrick and Baby Keem won the, what was it, a Grammy or an Oscar?
Oh, I was perplexed.
Right.
Yes.
So does this verse, J. Cole verse, does it top?
I can name 5 J. Cole's.
I know, but I'm
verses.
asking you, does this one right
Kid
here?
doesn't like Kendrick. You can't ask me.
I'm asking you, this
I have
most recent
no problem
drop.
with Kendrick. I have a problem with the way he does things.
Okay.
It's the fact that everyone puts him on a pedestal, yet this man hasn't dropped an album in Lord knows how long, hasn't released any music really,
Okay.
and Lord knows how long. But as it pertains to, you know, Family Ties,
Yes.
that verse by Kendrick, no way in hell should have won Best Performance. I don't give a fuck what you say to me.
Okay.
Like, the way...
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just trying to,
but
you know.
this J. Cole verse, I mean, would I put that above that Kendrick verse on Family Ties? Yes.
Okay. I like J. Cole too, though. I just want to make sure. I just threw it out there just to see. I like both of
Why
them.
are you trying to
but
start
I
some
just.
shit?
What do you mean? You said a statement last week. I'm just saying if you
Why
still
can't we
stick
keep
by
the
that
past in the
statement.
past?
Do you know how many times I said something on the show and you've done brought it back?
You see...
Yo, I have so much fun doing that.
So no, don't do that.
But
I mean,
what
that's
will
only
say,
if you.
nah,
That's
here-
only if it relates to the
Here's what I
conversation.
will
You just
say.
brought Kendrick into this out of nowhere.
Because they
Here's
just
what
dropped
I
the
will
verse.
say, right?
So every time J. Cole drops a verse, you gonna ask him?
Rich got
Yes.
this, right? The fact that Kendrick hasn't dropped since 2017. You got that.
Like, bro.
Because since then, Cole has been
killing
lapping people, but he
Okay.
still isn't really getting that recognition. I will give you that. He hasn't dropped since 2017, so Kendrick is starting to lose, you know, the upper hand. Even though the three of them are in their own respective lanes, yeah, Cole has been lapping people for a while, and it deserves to be recognized.
It should.
So I'll give you that.
Like, yo, like
But
I
when
respect.
he comes back,
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. Like you know
But
when he
you've been saying
drops.
that. You've been saying that for how long now?
facts.
So
My dog trends every week.
Yo, I'm not waiting for this nigga.
No, I know, but
I
you
feel
think
you,
when
I
he
feel
drops, it's not gonna hit?
I
I'll
never
be here.
said that.
No, I know,
When
I'm
he
just
bro,
asking.
you gotta understand. Kendrick has a cult-like following. No
I know.
matter what. Even it's been 4 years and people still waiting for that album. You feel me?
I'm not talking
I'm
about
just
the
not
cult.
one of those
I'm talking
people.
about Umem. I'm talking about you.
Okay, all right. We're talking about me.
Yes.
So what was the question?
The question was when he drops, whenever that is, do you think it's gonna flap?
For me.
Yeah.
Depends what kind of it depends what we're getting. Like I really don't know, because To Pimp a Butterfly, like I know some people think that's his best album. I didn't like it at all.
Oh.
Good Kid, Mad City to me is his best album.
Okay.
You feel me? Damn is
I
up
mean,
and down.
there's always
You
the
got
people
hers.
on the fence. So
Yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly and Get Kidnapped.
Yeah, but like Damn
that's
to
the
me,
thing.
Damn to me is a great project. I fuck with Damn, but I don't know what I will get from this man just because he's always changing it up. Like none of those 3 albums are the same.
The same, yeah.
So it's just like
Which
I
is
don't know what to
great.
expect from Kendrick.
But that's a good thing.
No,
yeah,
I know. I
I've-
understand. No, you don't get it. I respect it.
Right.
But she asked me about one verse, Family Ties.
I mean,
Nigga,
yeah.
that's you're not
That's what
telling
you
me
said
that
last
won
week.
best performance. You're not telling me that that's winning best performance. But Kendrick as an artist, I respect the shit out of that man. Like he has been doing his thing ever since the late 2000s. I was listening to him when he was dropping mixtapes. Section 80, bro. I fuck with Kendrick. But I'm just saying, like the fact that this man hasn't dropped for so long and people still treat him like he's a god or like he's up there, like, bruh. There have been people who have been consistently dropping heat, not missing, and no one talks about him. But just because Kendrick has 3 albums that are great, people just put him on this pedestal. I'm like, nah, this nigga got to prove it.
Okay.
You want to know what keeps him relevant? And I will also answer this question.
His stands.
Wait, no. I will answer this with another question. Do you think Cole has any anthems? Just think back. Give me an anthem from Cole.
Am I wrong? He made Quickest Smile, right?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
about to say that. That was the one I was
That
about
would
to
be an
say.
anthem?
Yeah.
All right.
Or Nobody's Perfect. Nobody's Perfect
that's
would be
an
another
anthem.
anthem.
Okay.
No, not so much.
I'm just listening. I'm taking this in. I'm taking this in.
I
wouldn't
think
say
Quickest
yes.
I just want to
Smile.
know what anthems from
not
J.
that
Cole.
nah.
On my way, on my way, on my way.
Yeah,
Nah.
No, not so much. Ow. Okay.
No, they're crowd favorites. They're crowd even fucking.
Okay.
Like when you
I'm
say
about to pull
anthem,
up. I'm about to pull up his profile.
What is your criteria?
Yeah, like what?
How do you define?
Because I know he's about to compare it to Kendrick.
Bro, like what are we talking about?
What is your criteria for an anthem?
I think if you were to be in a massive crowd and you were to drop either Humble or All Right, those two songs from Kendrick are anthems and they're old ass songs, but they're so old they keep him relevant because they're anthems. And Cole comes out every 2 years and it's great, but I personally don't think Cole has anthems. I could say No Role Models is probably one of J. Cole's biggest songs, but then you dissect the actual content of the song and what he's actually talking about in the song. That's not an anthem. It's just a crowd favorite.
Okay.
And he got a big audience. So obviously it's going to sound like it's an anthem, but it's really not.
Okay.
Like, I don't think Cole ever dropped a track where I was just like, I'm going to hear nothing. Maybe Middle Child might be Cole's anthem. Middle Child is Cole's anthem. Okay, no, I will say that. Yeah. That was the joint where I'm just like, okay, it don't matter when you drop this. It doesn't matter. It will go up every single time this comes on. Okay, I answered my own question. Middle Child might be his anthem. But I think that's only it. Really? Now when I come back to Kendrick and I drop Backseat Freestyle any day. I drop Mad City any day. It is going up, bro. Okay. It's going up.
You got that.
It's going up. So that's why I compare the two. How he's still able to be relevant from 2017. Let me flip this album.
Wait.
Nigga.
Okay.
Element's going crazy today.
Element is going crazy. I was listening to that 2 weeks ago. I'll give him that.
DNA, maybe not.
That's why I waste my time.
Yeah.
Everyone loved Loyalty when it came out.
I like both of them.
Humble, Element, and maybe DNA. If you would have dropped that today, is going out there. You feel me? So that's why I think the difference.
But how long can you listen to the same shit for?
Okay.
He's not retired.
How long?
He's not dead.
But
it's gonna sound crazy.
That's not the first time we've had an artist who's taken forever to drop something.
Niggas
and then
love Frank Ocean.
Yeah, so it's like
I hate him for the same exact reasons.
No, but I'm just saying.
I'm consistent.
If you're able to create music that resonates to massive audiences in that way, they will find a way to keep you relevant. You might not have to drop music ever so often, but if you're able to drop something as impactful and powerful as these artists can, the fans will do the work for you.
I agree with that
I
statement.
respect the shit out of that.
I agree that.
Yeah,
I respect the shit out of that. But she asked me for my personal
I know.
So I'm gonna give you my personal opinion every single time.
I did that for that specific reason. Yes, ma'am.
I hear you. It's top of the morning for you.
Top of the moment.
All right, let's go ahead and get into
He dropped that shit. Oh my
man was so mad.
I was stressed. I was like, no,
right.
he did not just do this on a track.
Let's get this shit.
And people were like, yo, this shit's fire. I was like, yo, what is wrong with y'all?
Nah, I will admit that shit was some trash. I'm sorry.
Oh, all right.
I'm like, no, that shit was some trash. I thought that was such a troll moment, but I'm like, Kendrick is also the perfect person to troll.
Yeah.
That reminded me of when Future was just like saying random shit on the track. Like,
I thought you were talking about Kanye
when he did Poop-Diddy Scoop.
Yeah,
he did that shit just so
he was trolling. He was trolling. Yeah.
No, he literally did it. Put it out as a single just so Drake couldn't record over it because that song was supposed to be for Drake, but they were beefing. You're like, know what? I was about to give you this beat. Now I'm a Poopity Scoop over it.
That's crazy.
Poopity Scoop.
That's so crazy.
Probably made a shit ton of money off that shit.
Okay.
Probably still making money.
Exactly.
This man's making money on every way possible.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into our reality checks. All right, so reality checks are pretty much our food for thought. Just our last piece that we want to leave to the listeners. You'll see us go through it if you need, like, just an example. But it's just our closing thoughts with the audience. You feel me? Okay. Rich, you always start things off, so go ahead.
Yes, I do. Trendsetter. So, reality check, short and sweet for y'all. The weather's getting nice. People are starting to wear less clothes. People are starting to be outside and more about. People are starting to travel. Work on your fucking physique. Work on yourself, because you don't want to be out here looking rough. You don't want to be out here out of shape. You want to be out here looking your best and in your prime. This is the season to get in your bag. I'm so freaking serious. Because, no, really. Because when you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you do good. So how can you do that? Work on your body. Work on your mental. So dead ass, like, yo, that is my reality check. Work on yourself. prioritize your body, prioritize your soul, prioritize your spirit, because summer is upon us. You about to be out and about. You don't want to be scared to show yourself. So that's my reality check. Focus on yourself. Nah, hold up. What's going on?
Nothing.
Y'all was just like the whole
No,
time.
because I was
hear?
ad-libbing you.
Oh, all right. He's speaking facts right there.
I was ad-libbing you, bro.
wow.
I got you. You
Wow.
good. Nah.
Wow.
You want to
He
take
was
care
about
of your
to- he was
physique.
about- right.
He was about to come at me crazy.
Oh,
wow.
I always keep it strapped. Go
Bro.
Go ahead, Amani. Go ahead with your reality check. Then
okay.
we'll go to Key.
My reality check is kind of gotta come off of riches, and it's essentially just pouring into yourself. I'm going through that process right now, and I just feel like the more you do whatever it is, whether that may be going to the gym, whether that may be listening to different types of music, whether that may be trying out new foods, regardless, you're doing things that's making you happy, and the more you feel happy, the more you look happy, the more you look good. So that's about it. That's my reality check for the week.
Word. All right, let's go on to Key. What you want to leave with the people?
I think, all right, my reality check for this week would be to consistently have faith in yourself and believe in what it is that you want to do, and be persistent, be consistent, and, you know, surround yourself with love and light. Stay strong mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and understand that there's always going to be something. You're always going to have an adversity, obstacle, struggle, problem. It's always going to be there. It's your mindset and your mentality that will get you over these rough patches. Sometimes you feel like you're in a hole or a ditch that you can't get out of, but I'm letting you know right here that you can, and you got this. So that's my reality check for this week.
Hey.
I like that.
And then for my reality check, let me just talk with the people real quick. It's starting to get warm out. Weather is improving. This is my reminder to check yourself. You feel me?
Before you wreck yourself.
Because I know it gets a little hot. It gets a little sticky. People become annoying. Their stupidity goes through the roof. They can't make common sense out of anything when it's hot.
Okay.
Trust me, I see it in my job all the time. So this is my reminder to y'all. Check yourself. Because both of my hands still work. You feel me? So let's get through this summer. Ride out on beautiful vibes. Let's listen to great music. Keep your money in your pockets unless Fabio is on. And we'll have a great time. You feel me? That's my reality check.
Money.
It was great. Dog, that's just right down the street from my crib, bro. You feel me? It's lit. So that's my
I love that
reality
for
check.
you.
You feel me?
I love that for you.
All right, so that was pretty much it for the show. Sadly,
vibes.
I have to announce
No vibes.
we can't do vibes
No vibes.
anymore.
Remember?
What's vibes?
So that's when we would play music on the show.
Can't do it no more.
But you want to know what's crazy? It's like you can ride under the radar for so long, but
Before
the
they-
second you start to make noise, the feds come for you. And we lost over 50 episodes. In the past weekend, we lost over 50 episodes because of that shit. And we're a music podcast, so that sucks. But it's the name of the game, and you got to adapt. So because of that, we have to discontinue Vibes of the Week, and that
is
sucks.
crazy.
But hey, just make sure you tap into the platform. You know we will always supply you with the music. Just now we got to find other ways to do it, all right? Unfortunately. But that's pretty much the end of the show. Key, Sadiq, I want to say thank you to both of you for pulling up. We had
Thank
amazing
you.
conversations.
Yes, we did.
After talking, I learned that you're a very down-to-earth person, humble, but confident at the same time, willing to put in the effort and work that is needed to make yourself go the distance. And I respect that, and I will be here to cheer you on every step of the way in your journey. And I can't wait.
Thank
I'm gonna
you
see
so
you at Testing
much.
Lab and
Hold
everywhere
on.
else. You feel
Give
me?
them your socials.
Please.
Oh,
Let them
okay.
follow you.
All right,
Let them
all
know where they can follow you. I get your music, all that.
All right, word. So if you're looking for me, which you probably will, maybe
Talk your
not.
shit.
It's okay.
Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know.
But you will be able to find me any and everywhere at Kiwi Fruit. KEIWEI Fruit. I'm gonna do this one more time because some people get confused. Ready? All right. KEIWEI Fruit, Fruit.
Thank you for spelling fruit.
Right?
Okay,
right?
Yeah, like, yo.
Surprised.
And yeah, if you're looking for any of my music, you can find me. Just type in Kei Baby Steps and it will pop up. I promise you. And yeah, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate you for the opportunity. And you guys are such amazing, beautiful people. And it was great to digest and, be a part of this conversation. So thank you for that.
And thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Seriously.
No problem.
And with that being said, it's been your boy DME.
It's been your boy Cozy Rich.
It's been your girl Imani.
It's been the kid, the one and only T.
And you've been listening to The Urban Product. We will go ahead and catch y'all next week.
Love.
Everybody claiming that they know my background. Have these niggas talking more than bitches. How do that sound? And I got these shorties on my D. If keep hopping on the beat, I spin this shit and bring it back round. I said these niggas call me Kiwi. Vibe is irresistible. He said he wanna see me quickly blowing up and I'll be posted on your TV. These movies shooting 3D when niggas pull up 3D. You fuck with Key and test my G, bitch, you get whacked, nigga. Real gritty, bitch. I flip the switch and that's a fact. Know I black, nigga. Everywhere I go, she know I'm back, nigga. Steady think I'm trying to take a man. Who with that, nigga? I promise you he's not my type. You be fucking with them niggas, flashing bickies in the pictures for a light. We both know he ain't really about that life. How you out here towing glizzies, getting busy in the city? I promise that you'll come spit about a bitch and making bands. Foreign whips got foreign chicks and how these niggas fans. But when it comes to a degree and making future plans, I be cooking in the kitchen like my mama making yams. I can see it on your face, you maybe wonder who I am. Hello, my name is Key, today I'm going on a rant. Here to talk about some things that I just can't comprehend. Started with how niggas try to make a dividend. Leave me moving all the contraband. Y'all flipped the packet, double back and stacked a couple bins. And everything all good until they came and popped your mans. On top of that, they took your money and sold all your grams. Broken day, done fucked your plan. Yeah, fresh like me. Never met a motherfucker fresh like Key. Tryna figure out why these niggas stressed about me. Now we got another chick really pressed about me. Cause he say he want a bougie bitch. The type to walk around with Louis and some Gucci shit. Don't really care about how these bitches be maneuvering. I know we think that I'm a vibe, I just be coolin' it. Acting like a fool and shit. Copying my drip, this ain't no Fendi and Prada. I get my swag from my daddy and get my ass from my mama. I don't do shit in public, you know I ain't about that drama. But if my niggas is with it, you know we pull up with llamas. Fresh like me. Never met a motherfucker in the city fresh like Key. All these niggas, they be stressed about me. And I got these bitches in the beam really pressed about me. Fresh like Key. Never met a motherfucker fresh like me. I know all these shorties wanna dress like me. I be dripping on these bitches in a fresh white tee.